Got cheated on after flying across the world to see her. It broke me, but it also freed me. I just want to share my story because it's been heavy on my heart, and maybe it will help someone else going through the same. I was in a serious long-distance relationship with a girl for about a year. We had plans for the future. Talked about marriage, family, everything. I trusted her. She swore she loved me. She even spoke to my parents, and we planned for me to visit her in person. I spent thousands flying across the world to her country to meet her and her family. I thought this would be the next big step in our journey. At first, things felt magical. We went out, made memories, met her family members, played with her niece and nephew, who loved me. It felt real. But slowly, small signs started showing. She was distant, weird with her phone, less affectionate. Something inside me knew. One night, while she was distracted, I caught a glimpse of her phone and saw Snapchat notifications from another guy. A guy she had named with terms like, "my love." When I confronted her, she tried to gaslight me. Said she only changed the name because I was always accusing her. Idasadi. En didasatadoa och chatsar neper de bor de bao. Ista abam lande meis mei and didio nasinena noa en obey me uaya da pendi.
My boyfriend cheated on me, and I forgive him. I just found out my boyfriend kind of cheated on me. He made out with a girl 2 weeks ago. I don't know if I'm making excuses, but I forgave him for a lot of reasons. Some of them are one, we barely see each other because of university too. He was very drunk. I don't know if in being crazy, but I'm not upset. Don't get me wrong, I love him so much, but I feel like mistakes could happen, and as long as he doesn't do it again, we will be fine. And to be honest, I still kind of don't believe it. I don't know why. He cried and I didn't. I just forgave him. I felt like this mistake isn't worth us losing each other, but I don't know, would love some input.
I, 32 million, am divorcing my wife, 33F, after finding out that my son, 5M, is not mine. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I found out that my wife cheated on me 6 years ago. The way I found out is that her sister told me after going to visit her to find out how the delivery of her first child was. She confessed to me that 6 years ago my wife told her that she slept drunk with her best friend. In her words, my wife was very sorry. At the time, she told me I was with my son, and immediately after leaving her house, I went to take a paternity test with him, fearing the worst. A week later, I get the results, and my fears came true. My son is not mine. For some reason, I began to see the boy differently, more as an acquaintance than a son. With proofs in hand, I confronted my wife at night when the child was sleeping. She asked me who told me, and I simply told her that it is none of her business. Although obviously, it will not take long to connect the dots that it was her sister. Well, that is not my problem now. I pay for cheating on my girlfriend with her much older sister? Hey, Reddit. I'm a 23-year-old guy, and I recently found myself in a situation that I can't seem to shake off. I need to know if I'm the asshole in this situation. So, I've been dating my girlfriend, Emily, 21F, for about a year and a half. Emily is amazing, kind, funny, and we have great chemistry. However, things have been a bit rocky lately. We've both been busy with work and school, and I started to feel like our relationship was stagnating. During this time, I ended up spending more time with Emily's older sister, Sarah, 35F. Sarah is a single mom, and she often needed help with her kids. I initially helped her out of goodwill, but as the weeks went by, I found myself drawn to her. I know this sounds cliché, but Sarah is stunning, confident, and has an energy that I just can't explain. She also has a way of making me feel wanted that I felt was missing lately with Emily. Well, one thing led to another, and we ended up sleeping together. It felt exciting and new, but I knew I was crossing a line. I didn't tell Emily because I didn't want to hurt her, but the guilt was eating me alive. The twist? A few days later, I found out Emily was planning to surprise me with a trip for my birthday and wanted to introduce me to her family, including Sarah. I panicked. I didn't know what to do. The guilt was killing me, and I started thinking that maybe I should confess. But then I wondered if it would be better to just keep my relationship with Sarah a secret. At the same time, I started feeling that I wanted to end things with Emily. Despite the good memories we have, I wasn't sure if I could move past my feelings for Sarah. We are in completely different stages of life. Emily is still figuring things out while Sarah has experienced a lot more. Finally, I made the decision to break up with Emily. I told her that I needed space and wasn't sure if I was the right person for her. She was understandably upset and confused, but I didn't confess to cheating. A few days later, she reached out, wanting to talk. I knew I would have to face her eventually, but I wasn't sure if I should come clean before meeting her or try to keep it buried. So, Reddit, Ada for cheating on my girlfriend with her much older sister. Should I confess now, or should I just let it go and try to move on with Sarah? I really need some perspective on this. I agreed to an open relationship to make her happy. Now she's jealous I found love first. Romance. I never wanted an open relationship, but Emma, F24, begged me, M26, said it would spice things up, that we were too young to be tied down. I loved her, stupidly, blindly. So I swallowed my pride and agreed. Fine, if it makes you happy. For months, she went on dates, came home with smudged lipstick smelling like someone else's cologne. I pretended it didn't gut me. This is what she needs, I told myself. Love means sacrifice. Then I met Sarah. It wasn't even a date, just coffee with a coworker after a late shift. But we talked for hours, really talked, the way Emma and I hadn't in years. Sarah laughed at my dumb jokes, remembered how I took my coffee, looked at me like I was something precious. I didn't mean to fall. But when Emma came home that night buzzing from some guy's apartment, I realized I don't ache for her anymore.
I cheated on him, but I know I love him. I am very insecure. I cheated. But I love him. Okay, I am 20 and a female. I cheated on my partner. We were together for over 2 years, and at some point my insecurities kicked in. I sought attention, and some guy gave it to me. We kissed, and after that I knew what I did was fucked up. I let my insecurities get the best of me, and I not only damaged him, but my own perspective of myself. I had no idea how to tell him. Me and the guy texted, and I said in them that I even know I'm only seeking comfort and attention. That I can't do it anymore. He couldn't either. My boyfriend found out. I was disappointed that I let time go by and didn't tell him ASAP. Let me tell you something. I love this boy. I see a future with him, and we've talked about the serious stuff. I don't know when you know, and I know. I've had relationships before, and it's never been this serious. I'm seeking therapy because I've had attention and validity issues since I was a little girl. I tried explaining that to him as an honest route, not an excuse. I hate myself for what I did. However, we talked, he took me back. I knew things weren't going to be 100%. I started learning more about myself and changing myself for the better because I love him. But I also love me too. Over time, we had small arguments, just normal arguments like, why aren't you coming to see me? Not letting each other know what we were doing. We started doing this for reassurance, knowing it's toxic, but it helped him feel better. Things felt like they were changing for the better. 5 months we were together after that. It felt better. But all of the sudden, he says he's tired. He doesn't know if he can trust me. He wants to break up. I'm immediately saddened. I cry and tell him that I want things to be better, to make it right. Everything you can think of, I did it. I wanted him back. OFG I did. I loved him. He loved me. But he decided we should do no contact. It freaked me out. I've never done it before. I suppose he never got the time to fully heal. But we tried no contact. I did try to reach out, and he needed space. I understood. But he still would talk to me. He said we have a small chance of getting back together, but he doesn't know when or how long we have to wait. He just said he's tired, wants to heal, and I need to do the same. to make sure I am the best version of myself for him. I truly believe I am not the same person I was a day ago, a week ago, let alone months ago. I don't think our relationship ever got to transition from a high school relationship to a mature one due to our habits. I want to get back with him, start a new chapter, and go about our relationship completely differently. After all, we started dating at 17, we are both 20. What do you guys think I should do? Can our relationship be repaired? We talked about marriage so heavily, even his family has reached out saying they loved us together or would hope we got back together. I even told them and apologized to them. I'm holding myself accountable in every way. What do you guys think? Don't hate on me too much, whatever you guys have negative to say about me. I can take it, but I also have already thought of them.
I already forgave her cheating, but now I saw details and can't cope with the way she had sex. I am really freaking out right now and hope you guys can help me. My girlfriend of 2.5 years has cheated and I already forgave her. Now I learned that the sex was much worse than I expected, and I don't know how to handle this. It happened about 2 months ago. My girlfriend was at a party at the shared apartment of some of her friends. Nothing special. I wasn't in town as I had to work in a different city. The next day, she called me crying and told me that she had cheated. I was shocked. When I came back the day after that, we had a long talk. She didn't tell me much details, and I didn't ask for it. She said that she had had a few drinks and just went with the flow and then had sex there. I actually didn't ask with whom. As she seemed to be really sorry, I tried to get over it. It took me some time, but I actually managed to really forgive her, and I thought our relationship was on a good track again. Her cheating wasn't a topic at all anymore. I admit that I was wondering about details from time to time, but I didn't want to talk about it and thought that it doesn't matter. However, I was very, very wrong. Yesterday, I talked to a guy who was there as well, and he seemed to be very surprised that I had been able to forgive her. I tried to explain to him that I appreciated her honesty and that she never tried to hide it at all. I wasn't able to understand his confusion until I was finally brave enough to ask about details. I almost blacked out when he told me. To cut a long story short, it wasn't just normal sex with one guy. She apparently slept with at least 3 of them and did things she'd never do with me. I still have no words for it. Actually, I thought he was making this up, but he had proof, and I can't get this off my mind now. I don't know how to ever cope with this. I know that I didn't ask for details, but it still feels like she lied to me, even though she technically maybe didn't. I hate that I went through a lot of mental trouble to keep this relationship alive, and now have to learn this. I am completely freaking out right now. Girlfriend cheats while she was drunk. I was cheated on by my girlfriend 1 month ago. I'm 21. She's 20. We were together for a year. I caught her kissing her boss. He's 27. It was the first time he'd ever given her a ride home. She needed help after crashing her car, and he offered to help. I trusted her. She never gave me a reason to feel insecure or jealous. We had a mutual understanding. No late hangouts with the opposite gender, no drinking, no putting ourselves in situations that could lead to cheating. She always had a rocky relationship with alcohol, and it never ended well. I was on a solid sober streak, too. These were rules we set together and respected. That night, she didn't call. We share locations, but from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m., I got silence. I called. I texted. Nothing. She later said her phone died. But I had the worst gut feeling, so I drove over. That's when I saw them kissing. I completely lost it. We broke up. Turns out they'd been drinking the whole time. She said the kiss happened just as she was about to leave. All she had to do was go home. All she had to do was say no to drinking. She didn't. This, after constantly telling me I had nothing to worry about, that he was just like a brother. She lied. The worst part? After getting caught, they drove off for a round for 3 hours before she called me to explain. Then she still went to work with him the next day, week and month. She claimed she was going to tell me that nothing would have happened, but it did. Those first few days after were a blur. The usual cheating spiel followed. I love you. It was a mistake. It won't happen again. I didn't take her back. I stood my ground. Still, we talked a little. Met up every other week. Stayed physically close. Yeah, probably the worst thing you can do after a breakup, but it happened. It's been a month now. She transferred to another store. She never fully explained what happened that night. She took some accountability, sure, but she never showed me her phone, never let me read their messages. She never reported him to HR either, even though I believe what happened was inappropriate and predatory. Boss and underage employee buying her alcohol, it crossed a line. Before she left, she told me he confessed his love for her. Can you believe that? She said she didn't feel the same, and I believe her. I don't think she loves him. Maybe it really was a mistake, but how? How could she drink again? How could she go back on her word? How could she not make me a priority? She said she'd fight for us, and she didn't.